A member of the Irish rap group Kneecap has been charged with a terror offence. Liam O'Hanna, who performs under the name Mo Chara, was charged for allegedly displaying a flag of the proscribed organisation Hezbollah at a gig in the O2 Forum in November last year. The Metropolitan Police have said this, that basically the reason that displaying that flag has been charged in this way is because it violates the displaying of a flag in such a way or in such circumstances as to arouse reasonable suspicion that he is a supporter of a proscribed organisation. Kneecap have insisted they do not support Hamas or Hezbollah and, quote, condemn all attacks on civilians always. The charges come following weeks of intense scrutiny after old footage was dredged up of them shouting "Up Hamas, up Hezbollah" at a concert. They also came under fire for projecting pro-Palestine messages on the stage at Coachella, in which they condemned Israel for, quote, committing genocide against the Palestinian people and the US government for arming and funding Israel despite their war crimes. In response to the charge, Kneecap issued the following statement on Twitter. 14,000 babies are about to die of starvation, with food sent by the world sitting on the other side of a wall. And once again, the British establishment is focused on us. We deny this offence and will vehemently defend ourselves. This is political policing. This is a carnival of distraction. We are not the story, genocide is. As they profit from genocide, they use an anti-terror law against us for displaying a flag thrown on stage. A charge not serious enough to even warrant their own Crown Court. Instead, a court that doesn't have a jury. What's the objective? To restrict our ability to travel, to prevent us speaking to young people across the world, to silence voices of compassion, to prosecute artists who dare speak out. Instead of defending innocent people or the principles of international law they claim to uphold, the powerful in Britain have abetted slaughter and famine in Gaza, just as they did in Ireland for centuries. Then, like now, they claim justification. The IDF units they arm and fly spy plane missions for are the real terrorists. The whole world can see it. We stand proudly with the people. You stand complicit with the war criminals. We are on the right side of history. You are not. We will fight you in your court. We will win. Free Palestine. Stephen, do you agree that this is political policing and a carnival of distraction?
Yeah, completely. That statement was, fucking amazing. And like, what I hate about this story the most, Dahlia, is that it is so lame. It's like lame as fuck. It is so uncool. You know, we actually used to be a cool country where we had like a great tradition of punk and political expression on stage and on albums. That was meant to rile up the establishment, to challenge the state, to shift people out of their comfort zones and, get them agitated. And, Kneecap is in that tradition. I mean, they believe in the causes that they're performing about and that they're sort of displaying on screen or in their concerts. But it's also happening in the context of a concert, like a theatrical event. What's next? It's like, are we going to start pulling actors off stage who are carrying a Hezbollah flag in a play that's written about, resistance? Are we going to, even if the playwright, for example, supports it, is that going to give us a reason to like shut down theatrical productions, to shut down films, to ban novels? This is crazy. It's crazy and it's uncool, and it shows such a lack of confidence on the part of the state for the arguments that it's making. It shows that the state knows its own arguments are bad, insofar as it even has arguments in support of Israel. And so it's so desperate to shut down anything that looks like dissent. But dissent in art is vital. It's so important. Like, you want to make, people sort of want to make Britain great again or whatever. Well, the way you do it is you do it by our artistic production, our cultural production. It's always been the way in which Britain has exported itself around the world. And this kind of, really lame. What was the wording used in the by the CPS? I mean, could be seen to be by somebody maybe support of a prescribed organization. So what? So what? They're a punk band. Let them look like they're supporting a prescribed organization. Maybe even let them support a prescribed organization. I mean, leads me to the next question, which I'm hoping that maybe you have an answer to, Dalia, because I don't know. Why is Hezbollah even a prescribed organization? I mean, I can see why, you might prescribe the military wing, let's say. You might think there's cause there to do that. I wouldn't agree, actually, but government might. But why is the political wing of Hezbollah prescribed in this country? Why is this, political party, which has a role in government, which has a role in many, many communities in Lebanon, and sort of is interwoven with the structure of civil society? Why is that banned? And that flag, by the way, is just the Hezbollah flag. It doesn't represent the military wing, doesn't represent the political wing. It is just the flag of Hezbollah. Why is it prescribed? Do you know, Dalia?
Well, I mean, I can't get into the brains of the British state, but I can say that it is quite recent, actually. I mean, the military wing has been prescribed for a while, since the early 2000s. But the political wing has only been prescribed since 2019. So it's actually was quite a recent move. And it was done by Sajid Javid. But honestly, I have to agree with you. The hysteria is absolutely comical and disingenuous. I mean, the British establishment would love the fact that all of the headlines, that all of the moral outrage are about what a punk band that they hadn't heard of a year ago, displaying a flag on stage or projecting certain images on stage. And I think, Kneecap have been really, really determined to consistently bring that attention away from them and onto the actual matter of hand. And I don't know, when will the British establishment have even an ounce of the moral outrage that they have for this punk band, for Kneecap? When will they have an ounce of that for the genocide that they are aiding and abetting? I mean, when is that day going to come? I mean, look, Spurs won a trophy last night, so maybe anything is possible. I'm willing. Hope is a discipline. That's what we've learned from the supporters of Tottenham. And so, yeah, I mean, I just think that when history looks back on this, it's just going to be like, whilst, at the time, as Kneecap said, at the time when 14,000 children are at risk of dying from starvation, you want to talk about a flag at a gig? I mean, it's comical, and it's deliberately trivializing the very things that we are talking about right now, by making us talk about something that happened at a music concert rather than what is happening in Gaza with our tax money, with our weapons, with our political legitimization. And yeah, I think that Kneecap have tried really hard to push that attention off of them, but the British media can't help themselves, can they?